Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We're going to give people like maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds to get online with us. Good morning, good morning. Just while we're letting people enter into the live stream here, let me introduce myself. My name is Rick Walsh. I am the Associate Director of Admissions in the University of Houston's Office of Admissions. I've got a couple of people online with me right now who you shouldn't see, but you may if anything happens to my feed. I really specifically want to introduce Alexandria Hines. She's another UH rep that's on the meeting with me this morning.
Hi, everybody.
There she is. She may jump in from time to time just to remind me that there's a question to answer. If you have questions throughout the presentation, please just post them into the chat on the right-hand side. We've got our colleague Thomas with us, and he's going to bring those questions over. And we've also got a couple of other people in the chat also kind of just, you know, oh, good. People are saying good morning. Good morning to all of you people. You fine people. Okay, so my other colleague Fred is also in the chat, so you may see his name pop up. He's legit. He's not a troll. Okay, so good morning, and today we're going to spend a couple of minutes talking about issues that come up for students who have already applied to the University of Houston. So this is students who have decided like, yeah, that sounds like a good place for me to potentially apply, and maybe they've sent their applications into us already. You could also be, it could be that you've already been admitted to the university. If so, congratulations, celebrate that. And just know that the information that we're going over here, it may not answer all of your questions. So if you have questions that I'm not touching on, please ask them. And we'll either get them answered in the chat, or they may even come over to me here and I'll try to answer them live for you. Let's get into it. So the most important thing for our students who have already applied is the MyUH student portal. You will receive an email if you haven't already when you submit your application that gives you a UH ID number. You're able to use that email to reset your password, and then we'll give you a temporary password. So, you know, between that ID number and that temporary password, you'll have all you need to get into your student portal. Signing into your student portal is really important if you have to get in there to check any of your to-do list items, right? Things that you may need to do to complete your application. It can also be where you pay your application fee if you haven't done that, or where you upload your fee waiver if you need to do that. We are giving students, both freshmen and transfer students now, the opportunity to upload their transcripts directly to their portal. And so all of those things are on your to-do list. Those are all really, really good things for you to know that they're there. And hopefully it's supportive of you to be able to upload all those different things. You've tried to request your UH ID and password 4 times now, but I've still not received an email for the reset. Yeah, absolutely. So if you have an issue getting that email from us, the most important thing probably is to make sure that we have the correct email address for you. So there's a time in the process where your email might flip over to your UH email, and you may not receive those if it's not hooked up as going directly to your personal email. So you can give us a call at the office, and we can let you know what email we have on file for you, and hopefully that'll help to get that sorted out. 713-743-1010. option 4. You can also check your financial aid status on your portal. You can register for your new student orientation. That will be after you're admitted. All of our new student orientations for this spring are going to be virtual. We think, we're not sure about what's going to happen for the summer yet, but, depending on how the pandemic kind of moves along, we will let students know. Is it possible to be a pre-med major and also attain an undergraduate degree in nursing? Wow, that is such a specific question. The answer to that question is yes, and. You can be a pre-med major from anywhere in the University of Houston. You can be a pre-med major and be in the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences as an English major. The pre-med classification at the University of Houston is just a pre-professional track. So it just means that you're taking the courses that you need to be admissible to the medical program of your choice. Oftentimes students will choose things like biology, those health, kinesiology, those types of majors. You can be a nursing major. Just know that you're going to take classes toward that nursing degree that may not be directly admissible into that pre-med degree plan. So there's a couple pieces for you to think about. So immunization. This is something that you'll have to do. Every student who has to complete the bacterial meningitis immunization. If you don't want to go and get the immunization, you can actually there is a waiver process. You can waive your need to get that immunization. UH.edu/immunization is the place to get all of that information. You actually will upload your immunization documentation directly to your to-do list again after admission. So another reason to get that access to your UH portal working and moving smoothly so that you can get into that portal. So just so that you know, there is a transcript requirement for incoming freshman students. I just mentioned that you can upload your transcript to your to-do list for an admissions decision. At the end of your high school career, we need to know that you've actually graduated. So you will submit an official high school transcript to us at that point. And that official final high school transcript will have your graduation date on it. That's how we know that it's official and final. Transfer students, you will probably send transcripts to us throughout the process, right? So you'll be sending transcripts to us so that we can make an admissions decision for you. Again, you can upload those to your portal, and we'll take the credit off of those transcripts, and we generate our own GPA. At the end of your semester, you'll send us the final transcript to make sure that we have all of the updated grades and courses, and so that you get all the transfer credit that you need. We do prefer, whenever possible, electronic transcripts. So that's EDI is electronic data interchange. The system for college transcripts is called SPEEDY. For Texas residents, there's a Texas high school system called TREX, like little hands. Okay, and so just keep that in mind. Obviously, we know that transfer credit is not just for transfer students, so we want to talk a little bit about what that credit process is like for incoming freshman students too, right? So you know that you can get college credit from a couple of different ways. You can get them through IP credit, IB credit, your international baccalaureate programs. You can get AP credit, your advanced placement classes that you're taking if you take the AP exam at the end of the year. And you can also get dual credit, right? If you're in maybe an early college, high school, or if you're just a student taking some credit before graduation from high school. All of those situations require official transcripts. So your IB program If you are getting an IB degree, you're going to get a good amount of credit from the University of Houston to start off with, but you need to get us that official IB transcript so that we can pull those credits off. AP scores, you're going to need to send those directly to us from the College Board. And dual credit, you will send us your official college transcript. So it's important to know that for freshman students, coming directly from high school, we don't need your dual credit transcript for admissions, but we do need it if you want to get any of that credit. And so it would be really important for you to get that to us before you come to orientation, because once you come to the orientation, that's where you'll actually get some advising for courses, and you want to make sure that the advisors know that you've got college coursework completed already. Let's talk about money a little bit, because there's so many questions about money that we can talk about. Just know that your tuition is based on your residency, right? So if you are a in-state Texas resident, you're going to pay less for your tuition and fees than you would if you're coming from out of state or from out of the country. What you see up here are some estimates for tuition and fees for a full-time student here for the full year. So this is 2 semesters, a fall and a spring semester of a full-time credit student. So that's about 15 semester credit hours per semester, 30 credits per year. And then obviously you add to your tuition and fees any additional fees that you may pay. So if you want to live on campus, then you're going to pay a little bit more for room and board. You are going to pay a certain amount for your books and your supplies that you need. So we've got some additional estimates down there on the bottom. Obviously, in talking about money, it's maybe important for you to think about financial aid and other ways that you can get help paying for college. We have a deadline that I will mention on this call right now, because it's tomorrow. The application deadline to the University of Houston for incoming freshman students to be scholarship eligible for a couple of our big university scholarships is tomorrow. It is November 1st. So that means if you're thinking about it and you just haven't hit submit on that application yet, it's super important for you to get on and do that today or tomorrow. So that application gets loaded into our system. And then you get all those checklist items that we were talking about, those to-do list items, so that you can complete your application in time for our scholarship priority deadline. So that's November 1st. The other priority deadline that we have is a FAFSA deadline. So January 15th, we want to make sure that we get you a decision to the University of Houston by January 15th, and that you filled out your FAFSA and submitted that to us. The FAFSA, the federal application for student loan money, is actually available already. It has already opened up. You can get on and fill that out now. There's some specific things that you need to, it says, yes, thank you, Alex, I appreciate that. So the application deadline is tomorrow, November 1st, but there is a document deadline of November 6th. So that means like all those checklist items that I've been mentioning, those things, you have additional time to get those into us, November 6th. If you're a student choosing to be reviewed with a test score. If you are choosing to be reviewed without a test score, you actually have a little bit longer to get us your documents. That'll be November 20th, because we may require an essay and a resume from you. So some additional pieces that you'll have to get to us. Okay, so that is FAFSA. If you are admitted, another requirement might be the placement test for math and the TSI exam. TSI is Texas Success Initiative. Some students are exempt from the TSI by having already scored certain scores on the SAT or ACT. With less students using the SAT and ACT for admission this year, you will have to just make sure that you are TSI ready. And so there is a TSI exam that you can take through our testing services. The email address there is a great email address to write down, tsi@uh.edu, for any questions about exemptions. And that website has some really great information on it as well, ussc/TSI. So the TSI exam is something that you need to be TSI. You need to be, TSI ready in order to take college level courses. If you're in some of our majors that are pretty math intensive, think about things like engineering and our College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. You may have to take the math placement exam as well. And so that would be to figure out if you place into pre-cal or calculus. So again, more information is online, online.math.uh.edu/math placement. And you can check out all that information there. New student orientation, I mentioned that to you a little bit earlier. You can register for that through your portal. And it is it's a requirement for freshmen and transfer students. We still have this listed on there. Freshman orientation is typically, when on campus, a 2-day orientation for incoming freshman students, and transfer orientation is a 1-day program. When it is virtual, it's a little bit different. And so for our students that are coming in this spring, you've probably already gotten communication about our virtual student orientation. And you can actually email orientation@uh.edu with questions about that, or you can check out uh.edu/orientation for additional information about those orientation sessions and what virtual orientation looks like. To give you a really quick rundown for the spring, there are online orientation modules that you can take. They're pre-orientation modules. You take them as a sort of a self-paced program, and then you will have an actual live kind of face-to-face session, sort of like what we're doing now, on a specific day. So you'll be logged in and kind of going through the process with our orientation staff and able to ask questions in the way that you're asking them now. So part of the orientation process is academic advising. Obviously, when we're in person, that looks different than, again, when we're doing this virtually. But all of our colleges have advising programs that are specific for the students coming in, and so all of the academic colleges will spend a little bit of time with you talking about what you need to know about their academic program and how their degree programs work. And you'll get some individualized attention. Oftentimes in the virtual setting, that's through an email discussion or an online Zoom chat, phone call, Microsoft Teams, any of those types of platforms that the different advising staffs may choose to use with their students. So you'll get additional information about that through both those orientation modules, those pre-orientation modules I was telling you about, and the day of orientation, and directly from the academic college. So there's a lot of different ways that we'll be reaching out to you to make sure that you know how to register for those courses. Just to give you a sense, you may have already heard about this. For incoming freshman students, we do have a UH&4 program. This is it's a program that is really based around academic success and making sure that we get you guys out of here in a timely amount of time. So UH&4 is a 4-year graduation plan for all students coming in directly from high school. And it basically just says, like, listen, we're going to give you the best advising that we can give you, and we're going to try to get you out of here in 4 years so that you can go and be in the workforce, or go to your next degree, a higher level degree, a master's program, doctorate, anything like that. As a sort of a part of that that agreement that you make with us to try to stick to that degree plan, we also have a fixed tuition option that is kind of associated with that. So I'm going to be on this 4-year degree plan. We're going to keep your tuition fixed for 4 years, so that it doesn't go up like typically tuition does. So that's UH4. You can get more information about that, uh.edu/UH in the 4. I'm recognizing that I'm at about 10 minutes to go. So if you haven't asked questions or if you haven't gotten your questions answered, I'm gonna try to get through the rest of these slides that I have, but I am happy to kind of forego slides and answer questions if necessary. Just so that you know, the way that the tuition bill works is that you actually enroll in your classes first. I know that oftentimes a lot of students, they get admitted and they're like, okay, well, how much is this going to cost me? Well, we don't know exactly because it depends on how many courses you enroll in and the courses that you enroll in and the degree plans that you're admitted into. So once you enroll in those courses after the orientation process, you will then receive your tuition bill that shows your tuition and fees. And you can access that through, guess what, your MyUH student account. You can also pay your bill online if you need to. Our Welcome Center on the University of Houston campus is open and is available for you to walk in and pay your bill in person. Direct and good, excellent. Fred, Jeremy are taking care of a lot of questions. Perfect. Thank you guys for all of that. So choose the plan that is possible or is best for you. So literally that means payment plans. So those are not necessary, but if those are helpful to you, you can choose a payment plan. Oftentimes students will choose payment plans even if they're waiting for financial aid to kick in, right? Sometimes your financial aid award is in the process of going through, and it makes sense to choose a payment plan early on, just until your financial aid kicks in, and then the financial aid will pay the bill. But at least you've got that payment plan, and the payment plan actually helps to keep you in your courses, right? If you're waiting for financial aid money to come through. Parking on campus is a nightmare. No, that's not true. Actually, we have two brand new, beautiful parking facilities that have just been built in the last year, which has really increased our capacity for parking. We have always recognized that parking has been hard for students, but it's an availability for you if you need it. We always say, buy your parking pass early. You've got a bunch of different options for parking passes. You can purchase garage parking, you can purchase gated parking, you can purchase just ungated, and they're all kind of different ranges of money. You can park a little bit further away from campus and shuttle in. We have great options for public transit onto campus as well. The light rail line, the Houston light rail line actually has a couple of stops up on Cullen and on Wheeler, so on two sides of campus that are very, very convenient for students. Plenty of ways to get into campus and onto campus if you don't want to pay for parking and struggle with traffic on the way into campus. That is, if you'll believe it, that is all the slides that I have. So, I already mentioned this 713-743-1010 number. Option 4 is to get in touch with the admissions office, but the other options that you can get on that are our other enrollment services offices, so financial aid, the registrar's office, the business services office. You can email us, you can get onto our website. Or you can even, honestly, a lot of students right now are getting in touch with us through any of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on Reddit. You can ask us questions through Reddit if you like. Just don't be mean to us. No. So that's the presentation. That's what I've got. I'm going to hang on for just a couple of minutes here, just in case any questions come across that are helpful. I know that I'm supposed to tell you that after this session is over, you guys have a short break, and then you will jump into your next I think they are the academic college sessions, but even during the break, we've got a little break session for you too. So you can be kind of like up and moving around, but there's some cool stories that students have to share with you. Okay, I'm hanging. If we are out of state, I know that there is a way to get. Oh, thank you. That's such a great question. Yeah. So I can't believe I didn't mention that. So you know that deadline that I mentioned to you that's coming up tomorrow, November 1st, and the November 6th document deadline and the November 20th document deadline for students without a test score. All of those dates are so important because they make students eligible for a big scholarship that we have called the Academic Excellence Scholarship. There is the greatest thing about that Academic Excellence Scholarship is it's a range of scholarship money. So you can get between $1,000 and $6,000. And if you're from out of state, if you're an out of state student and you get a $1,000 scholarship, so the lowest amount in the Academic Excellence Scholarship, we have a tuition waiver program. So that $1,000 scholarship actually gets you in-state tuition. You pay the same as our in-state students do. Review for test optional students. Great question. When does it begin? So it has already started to begin, kind of. For any of those who are kind of following along, the test optional students being reviewed without a test score is very new to the University of Houston. Because of that, we are creating a process to calculate a core GPA. So a GPA using students' English, math, science, and social studies coursework. And that core GPA is what we're actually going to use for your initial decision. So with a rank and your GPA, that process is taking us some time to create those GPAs, right? It's a lot of GPAs to calculate, if you can imagine. So students that don't meet assured admission criteria with those GPAs, and the assured admission criteria are available on our website. Students that don't meet the assured admission criteria, that's when they'll be asked for the resume and the essay. And those are things that you can upload directly to your student portal. Is there a deadline to pass the TSI? No, no, but you should definitely make sure that you are TSI exempt or have passed the TSI exam before you come to orientation. Again, you want to get through that process, the math placement and the TSI testing process before we start to try to put you in classes, right? Because we won't know what classes to put you in if you haven't completed your placement testing. So yeah, that's what I have in terms of the deadline there. Not really a deadline, but it is what it is. 3 minutes left. I think I've answered most questions that have come up over here. It sounds like you guys have been also getting your questions answered in the chat, which I really appreciate my staff, my colleagues who have been helping with that at the same time. Let me know if you've got anything else. Alex, Thomas, nothing else coming across? Alex, is there anything you want to just like say that I might have missed?
Not really. Just finish up this semester strong, whether you're a transfer, or a current senior right now. I know times are crazy for all of us. But I just encourage y'all to, hold the faith and keep strong. That's all. And everybody have a good Saturday and be safe. Even though it's Halloween, still wear your mask.
Thank you, Alex. As a public safety announcement from Alex Hens. Okay, we really appreciate you guys being with us this morning, and definitely hope that you have a great rest of your experience here doing this virtual Cougar preview with us. Please continue to ask questions throughout the day. The chat on this stream will stay open even when I say goodbye. So keep asking questions there. We'll have people, staff that are monitoring that chat. And obviously, every time you jump into a new session, you'll have a new chat to jump onto there as well, okay? Thank you all so much for your time and attention and the great questions. Appreciate you all.